Hi y'all, Austin here with Outer World Media. Welcome back to another book review, guys. This time we are talking about a Louis L'Amour book. We are talking about the Sackett books. We are talking about book number 11, The Skyliners, guys. This book follows, I believe their names are Galloway and Flagon. I call them Flagon. Essentially, these are two Sackett brothers who are kind of just meandering around. They're trying to stock up money to essentially pay off their father's debts. And, from there, they come across a couple Irish horse traders or trainers, if you will, and or breeders, and they are entrusted to lead a woman out west to Colorado to her father. Her name is Judith, and so it is up to Flagon, however you want to say it, and Galloway, who we did previously meet in the Sackett brand, to escort her and whatnot. And that's kind of how the story opens up. Obviously along the way they run into some issues. They have some enemies and whatnot. There's a couple other Sacketts that get referenced in this book. Typically in a series like this where you have two characters, it kind of bounces back and forth between the two characters. This one mostly sticks with Flagon's point of view. We don't really get any of Galloway's point of view. If I'm not mistaken, though, he does have a book named after him later in the series. So I'm sure we'll get to see more about him and get to know his thoughts and whatnot. But that is for a later discussion. That is for a later read. Like I said, this is a typical Louis L'Amour Western. We had the good guys, we had the bad guys, we had the damsel in distress who does not make it easy sometimes, if you will. I will say the villain in this story, I didn't find them as intriguing as the one from the Sackett brand. I'm not gonna lie. The one from the Sackett brand was definitely in a league of their own as far as how vile they were and what they did and what they were willing to do. But again, for characters that we got to meet in, the Sackett brand, I was kind of hoping maybe this would take place right after it, and it seems to take place a little while after. Again, two characters, I don't think they're forgettable by any means, but I don't think that they are going to be, my favorite characters or my favorite Sacketts, if you will. Again, good book. Again, it's a Louis L'Amour book. They're all good, and I will always say that anytime I review one of his books. But again, quick, short little read, caps in around 188 pages. I read this in like 2 or 3 days, so nothing too bad or too long. It is kind of cool to see the little wagon train-esque journey that they take to get to Colorado. Again, I really enjoyed this. Again, I would probably give this, a 3 out of 5. Again, I didn't hate it. I didn't love it though, but it was a solid read. We are definitely in the vein of Western books right now with the Sackett brand. So again, guys, should you check it out? Yes, I think it's one I would definitely help to read the Sackett brand before picking up that book. But again, this is one I think you could read on its own and whatnot, and it kind of fills you in a little bit on what happened in the Sackett brand. Doesn't really spoil anything, but kind of, again, references a couple characters from there. It references Nolan, it references Tail, Lando. Again, there's some references to some other Sacketts from previous books in here. So I think it's kind of cool and neat to see those references and know who the characters are. But this is one that you could probably read by itself and be fine and follow the story no problem. But again, guys, like I said, just want to get on here real quick and give you guys a quick little review of the Skyliners. As always, guys, I will see you next time at the next book review.